afternoon and welcome to the Midday Radio City Yearly Roundtable. And joining me this afternoon is Mohit Basu and Mayank Shekhar, two very renowned film critics from the Midday team. And of course, myself, Vijay Lakshmi Narayanan, who writes for Radio City Digital. Today, we will be talking about the best of films and shows that 2020 had to offer in a rather abysmally bad year, in a very gloomy year where we were all confined to the confines of our households for a good 10 months, I guess.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, firstly, both Mohar and Mayank for doing this and for joining me this afternoon. And I want to start this discussion right away by asking both of you to please list your top five films of 2020. I'm sure it's a rather lucrative list, and I'm sure five is not really a decent number. There will be many more because we had a few theatrical releases and also a lot of them are released straight on digital. So I'm sure it must have been a task for all of us to reach our top five if that is the confine that we need to reach. But if I may ask both of you, I mean, beginning with you, Mohar, what would you list under your top five films of 2020?
So my absolute favorite film of the year would be Thappad. I don't think anything tops Thappad for me this year. It's a very beautifully made film. It was a very nuanced film. And I like the trailer, but I never judge a film by the trailer. But I went to watch the film, I was like, the trailer doesn't do justice to the film. The film is way more layered and nuanced than that. And just recently, last week, I was having a discussion with a friend, and they were like, maybe the film it's about domestic violence. I just want to say it again, guys. The film was not about domestic violence. It's about systematic misogyny, casual sexism. Understand the film and go and watch it again. I really like Shakuntala Devi. It's a very performance oriented film. I just was so wowed by Vidya's performance in the film. Simply that. It was a brilliant performance. I liked Serious Men. I thought it's a very well made film. There was Raat Akeli Hai, which was very good and a very unusual choice, I might say. But I like Loot Case. I thought it's a funny film to another level. It's a very simple, funny film, and kudos to Kunal Khemu for like selling that part with such honesty and earnestness. It takes a really good actor to be able to do that. So these are my five favorite films.
Maya?
Well, Vijay Lakshmi, even before we begin listing, and I think all our discussion pretty much is going to be about stuff that we enjoyed in terms of films, in terms of series. A few things to bear in mind is that I just realized, although we'd been home pretty much for almost a year now, right? But it is impossible to be on top of the content game here. We might discuss our favorites, but there's just so much out there. While we had nothing better to do, but I still could not catch up on a whole lot of material, which could be movies and series from multiple languages, from various countries, enormous number of genres. And we're only talking about Hindi films here and only talking about Hindi series. And kid you or not, I'm still struggling with finishing up on all the stuff that people have still recommended to me, because at the end of the day, there are 60 OTT platforms, of which I only have 6. And I think all of us probably have 6 or 7. So you can imagine how much got generated, and thank God for that, because it gave us something to hold on to. If there was no screen, life would have been far tougher. All that said, so I'm going to give a massive, disclaimer that this is only the stuff that I have watched, which may be such a small portion of all that was created, even within Hindi language, let alone Indian films or international. But my favorite film, I think more or less is going to be one that I'm presuming a lot of people have not seen yet, because I don't think it's on an OTT platform yet. But I watched it at a film festival. Of course, a digital online film festival. Where else would we go? And it released in Indian theaters. It's a movie called Ib Ale. Basically the sound that the protagonist makes in order to tame monkeys in the heart of Lutyens Delhi, which is where all the top offices are, where the Rashtrapati Bhavan is, where the North Block, the South Block, where the power center of India is. So if you see it purely as a film about this character who's just got this job to do this, which is to tame monkeys, because that area literally is full of monkeys. It's called, in Delhi, it's called Daftar, okay, that area. It's full of monkeys. And that's what his job is, to keep yelling Eve Ali ooh. So that's why I'm just making that known, so you know why the movie is called that. And I personally have a huge thing for what is quote unquote called cinema verite, which is where you can't, tell between life and a film. Just as we couldn't tell while we were sitting in our homes between life and death itself. And there's just so much we couldn't tell between cinema in terms of a dystopian film which was playing out in our lives. So, and this is a really funny film, a really well made. To give you some examples of the genre, I think if you've seen Court, that would be very close to what is cinema verite in the Sonia. Of course, we've seen a lot of other films too. So that's my number one. And thereafter, of course, and which is not to say it was an easy number one. There are lots of, I thought Serious Men to me came very close to Ib Ale Oo too, because I love the book. I love what they did with that book into a film, and things it's saying without quite saying it, whether it's about Dalit politics, whether it's about parenting. I think there were some very strong and original points made on the subject. There was, every time you take up these subjects, there's usually a lament. There's a lament about the position of the downtrodden, but they can also be having fun, and they can also be clever. They don't always have to be idiots being suppressed by society. I think there were a lot of original things being said in that particular film. So that would be, I think, my number two. I completely agree with Moore. I think Thappad was fascinating in its point, in its purpose, in its storytelling, and its storytelling. What I mean by that is that Hindi term Andaz-e-Bayan, right? As she rightly put it, it's not a movie about domestic violence, because that would be the easy film. That would be a relatively easy film, like say Chhapaak would be. Although a great film, totally loved it. A well-intentioned movie. Everyone must watch it. But that was an easier film to make, I think, in terms of nuances, in terms of getting into the minds of characters than Thappad was. So these three, I think, stand out for me. And then there is a slight gap, and then a lot of things come into play. I thought Choked, because the point was trying to make for demonetization. We can't even discuss so many things to do with this country at this point, let alone demonetization. There was such a strong commentary on something that all of us face, but all of us rarely talk about for obvious reasons. 2016 setting. Other Chok was a pretty brave film, and I think it should be something that should be watched 20 years later to understand what India went through. And of course, it's not a documentary film; it's a film that's making altogether another point, which is about choked in various ways. How you're choked in a family, how you're choked with the result of money, how you're choked with respect to relationships, how we live very choked lives, which is also something that all of us were going through all through lockdown. It was a pretty choking experience for a lot of us. So I mean, these four, Raat Akeli Hai, more mentioned, truly enjoyed. Yes, Shakuntala Devi was fun too in its own right. These are all great films, but to me, it would be I can't even say it. Ib Ali Oo, yeah, Pratik Vats, Ib Ali Oo, Serious Men, Thappad.
Yeah. Actually, pretty much sticking to what Mohan started with, I think even for me, my number one would be Thappad, hands down, because I think when Anubhav made it, sorry, not Anurag, pardon me again, when Anubhav made it, he said that when he watched Kabir Singh, the argument that was put forth in that film, where they say that, if you love somebody, then clapping or anything is totally justified. So that was what angered him, and that was what triggered him to make this movie. But then when I saw the film, I remember writing it in my review saying that to compare that to Kabir Singh would be very belittling of the film, because it goes far beyond that narrative. And rightly agreed with Mohit. It's not just domestic violence; it's about the systematic conditioning that has been imposed upon us over generations. And what really stood out for me was how it questions the roles of mothers, that how our mother's generation and our grandmother's generation are very much responsible for what so many of we young women are facing today. And I think Thappad really took a strong gaze at women across the social strata of the society. It was not okay. Violence is something only a housemaid is going through, or a young married woman is going through. It was across the board. Everyone had a story to tell. And I think the way the narrative really brought in together all the stories of all the women. It was very inclusive. So that's what I truly enjoyed about the way Thappad was written. So that would be number one for me for sure. At number two, very unusually, I'd want to list Kamyab here because I think it really took a strong gaze at how the film industry looks upon its, the rather lesser known faces, the junior artists who work in so many films, do so many bit roles, and even in those minute roles, they leave such significant impressions. But nobody really pays them that kind of attention. They don't really get the kind of recognition. And I'm willing to watch any project that has Sanjay Misra in it. And his camaraderie with Deepak Dobriyal in the film, I think it really, really, it touched me on multiple levels, not just as a person, but also as someone who's truly a fan of movies. So Kamya would be number two for me. At number three, I would say Akhuni. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's landed on Netflix. It's starring Shayan Gupta and Lynn Leshram. I thought, I always said, and I've written this in my reviews, that, Northeastern and people around the, Northeastern people or Northeastern culture is not really so celebrated in our mainstream movies. We barely have actors from those regions representing, the life and times of Northeasterners. And I think Akhoni is a kind of rare film which celebrates friendship, which celebrates food. And yet you see it making so many valid points, against how we as, the more mainstream people perceive and look at, people hailing from that region. There was a really smart reference to the Nido Tanyam incident that happened in Delhi, where this young student from Arunachal Pradesh was assaulted because of his ethnicity. And I think Akhuni really touched upon a lot of that. And what a fine performance by both Shayoni and Lynn. It remains it easily stands as my third favorite film of the year. At number four, I would say I really like Ludo. I loved the eccentricities that were happening in that film. I really loved how it was all color coordinated and how Anurag Basu beautifully waved it. And what stood out for me was how each color was representing the emotions that were felt by the characters. So if it's red, Abhishek Bachchan's character is feeling passion, rage, and a lot of intensity. If it's green, there is a certain energy, enthusiasm with Rajkumar Rao's feeling. So I really like the way the colors played a huge role in that narrative. And watching Pankaj Tripathi, I don't know what was he doing in that film. I just could not stop laughing, especially that hospital escape. I had to pause and laugh for a good 5 minutes at that scene because it was just so brilliant, that particular scene. So Ludo would be number four for me. Number five, I would say, was AK versus AK, which I absolutely enjoyed. To watch an actor of the stature as Anil Kapoor go all ballistic and no holds barred, and I recently read a review. I actually read a review about AK vs AK where somebody said he's unleashing his inner Chembur in the film. So he's wearing the choices towards that Anurag Kashyap, and it's a performance that I absolutely relish because I wouldn't have imagined. In fact, I have written in my review saying that even in his most negative roles where he played the bad, we've never seen him go all guns blazing at somebody, swearing at the top of his voice. And for me, that was really the twist, the last twist at the end. I'm sure something like this would have released in the theaters, the public would have whistled and hooted all the way out to the exit. So yes, these would be my top five, but also there are honorable mentions like Mayank would say. I like Cargo. I really think Cargo deserves a larger audience and a much wider reach. There's Hala Hal, which I really enjoyed on Eros now. Hala Hal is, for those who haven't seen the film, it's available on Eros now and it stars Sachin Khedekar and Barun Sopri. It's beautiful and of course Raat Akeli hai, and I would also mention Bulbul to an extent because Bulbul I thought was very fabulously written where a feminist narrative was concocted, deploying age-old mythology and grandmother tales, and I think Anvita Dutt did a very fine job with the way she executed Bulbul. So
there was also Gunjan Saxena, which in a similar way kind of is a very it's a well-made film. I give it to the makers. It's a well-made film.
Yeah.
The kind of the flaws of the film have been very beautifully worked out in such a way that they never hit you. It's a very nice film, and I think the first time the idea of patriotism is discussed in a very positive light. Just do your job well, guys. That's enough patriotism that you can do for yourself and your country.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you on that because I felt that, I mean, for years we've seen this heart thumping, fist thumping and, jingoistic, executions of patriotism. So in comparison to that, yes, Gunjan Saxena was really a respite. And I felt that somewhere it showed Janvi growth as an actor, that she's really going, she's doing the right thing here. So
Wise choice.
all this nepotism debate and everything around her. I mean, like, give them a chance. Like, why not?
So here's the thing, right? I'm so glad that you mentioned Ludo because for some reason it had slipped my mind. Quite clearly, it would be there on my top 5.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt about it. In terms of and color is absolutely right to make a movie about dons and a thriller, and that really starts out with a freaking murder, and then to turn that into what a colorful film with genuinely like so many characters merging, so many of them exiting, entering to a point you even forget who's playing whom and why. And of course, all of it really comes together so beautifully. I think it's a masterful screenplay. I've loved Anurag Basu's films, but I've always had an issue with his scripts. I think this time he's got both right. It really takes it forward. But taking you on AK versus AK, Vijayalakshmi, I think I genuinely feel, and I love the film too. I genuinely feel this was the year of the meta, and I know when everyone uses the word meta only now, it just seems so like, oh my God, like this really big thing that we're talking about. But it was really a year in terms of movies, looking within at the movies. And you mentioned Kamyab, which was, I think, the last film that released in theaters right before India went into lockdown, right? That is my last memory of a theatrical release in a real sense, which is beautiful, which is lovely. And then right before that, we'd seen Angrezi Medium, right? Further down into the lockdown, we saw Dil Bechara, right? And genuinely with Angrezi Medium and watching Irfan on the screen and Dil Bechara, watching Sushant Singh Rajput right, after his unfortunate demise was impossible to take as a film. You could only see it as meta. You could only see self-reflection of the individual. You could see the person commenting on themselves while being there, and nothing. And which is why those films are beyond your ratings and beyond your top 5s, because they are working at you at a very visceral level, which has nothing to do with storyline, which has very little to do with script per se. It has all to do with what you're seeing on screen and what you know of that person. I mean, it's like watching, like if you were to say watch a really moving family video, right? Are you going to rate that? Are you going to like put that into a top 5? No, it just moves you because you know the people. And it just felt like that with both Sushant and Dil Bechara and with Irfan. And because we knew at that point that, he wasn't going to be there with us for too long. And he was still, working, and you could see what he could be going through and what he was performing. The fact that he was doing comedy and was living a tragedy, as it were, was just, there was truly moving experience. I wouldn't say great films because that's not about films altogether, but really like shaking experiences in their own ways. But yes, thank you for reminding me about Ludo. It's certainly there in my top 5. And because I've already given out my top 3, then perhaps the 4th one.
So let's get into the performances, some of the best performances that we have seen in the films that we have discussed. Mohan, if you were to start, I'm sure Taapsee Pannu from Thappad would be a mutual choice for both of us.
Easily. Taapsee Pannu, I would, I have always thought of her as someone who's very alike Rumi from Man Marziya, that's the spirit which she kind of has. And to see her as Amrita in Thappad, it's such a silent, muted, restrained performance. And there's only that one scene in which she goes and yells at her husband and says that, your allegations are just incomplete if you don't call me manic depressive. So just go and say that. That's the only place where she has an outburst. But she's so calm throughout the film that yes, I agree. It's her best performance till date for sure. For sure, she
Right.
can't beat that. I think.
Right. I think, Panga, which released in Jan, it enjoyed a very, I think it hardly lasted in the theaters for a week because it really had a dismal opening. But of course, everyone really celebrated Kangana's performance. For me, the performance in that film was by Richa Chadda. I think as the motor mouth friend of Kangana Ranaut's character, I don't know. For me, there were so many scenes in that film where I was constantly chuckling throughout every time she threw in these wonderful quips in between. When especially that scene where she has to see a boy for marriage prospects, and I don't know. It's another. It's up altogether another level that I just can't explain. And of course, Tapsi, they're from Thappad, but even Vidya Balan and Shakuntala Devi, I think um, undoubtedly, if there's an actress today in the current times who can shoulder the length of an entire film or any project on her shoulders, single-handedly, it has to be Vidya Balan for sure.
Well, I would again. It's a good performance. A good judge, a good way to judge would be how you've known them over a period of time and how you saw them transform for a particular role, right? And in that sense, for me, two standout performances I thought were Sayami Kher in Choked, because we once in her debut film, and I had no idea that that's that's all that she's holding back. She has simmering talent, yeah. It really like sort of moves you in ways that I mean, of course, it's also our prejudgment. It's also our bias based on her first movie that was she was
Yeah,
essentially told to the audiences as the pretty young thing. But I think
yeah,
she's up there with the finest talents you can come across for a part that's really really tough. It's a very
yeah,
internalized performance. There's not much that you can say in terms of words to express what she's going through, because it is a very Charlie Kaufman kind of movie anyway. It's all in the head. Everything that's happening in that film is happening inside the characters' heads. There's really not much happening in terms of a plot. The plot is the fun part, right? But what they're going through in the head, and she really expresses it in ways that I had not expected, honestly.
right,
Likewise, again, purely for the transformation, I thought Deepika in Chapak was deeply moving. Uh, this could be like the top lead actor from anywhere in the world. From the top people from theater would be performing that part with that level of strength and vulnerability that she showed in that role. I mean, of course, there's no other way to do it. It's the whole
yeah,
movie centered on her, and a slight slip here and there, and it would be the movie got to the gutter, right? But
yeah.
but to even still hold it was fabulous, was fascinating. So these two, but I think, and here I'm going to merge film and series. I think this was Pankaj Tripaঠি's year, yeah. I mean, that
He
guy
is good
really,
Yes,
at everything.
he's the
very well.
man, woman / person of the
Man
year.
of it.
Literally, there is no
Yeah.
question about it. Whether you take him as a father in Gunjan Saxena, what a heartwarming personality that he manages to exude. Of course, so much of that is in the writing of the character, right? But so much of that is also in the way he manages to look the same. Huh? He doesn't, unlike most of the actors you'll see, he doesn't do much with the look. He still looks the same, and he will go from that kind of a guy, right? That kind of father, an educated father who's been in the Air Force, like a upper middle class dad with the right liberal values, as it were, and then go on to someone who's an asexual small town man as a lawyer in Criminal Justice season
Yeah,
two. Get on to what else did we see him in? I'm just in
Gangster
Ludo.
in Ludo.
Yeah, yeah, gangster in Ludo. He just every time he's on screen, he just lifts the film, just sheer presence. You know what I mean? So it can't
right.
always be right. And I'm sure I'm missing out on a few other performances of this because he was there throughout. I thought I was just seeing him everywhere. He's coming out of my ears or my eyes, as it were. So there's Criminal Justice season 2. There was Gunjan
Like,
Saxena. There is
There's
which one
Mirzapur,
did you mention? And then there
Ludo.
is, I knew I was missing the Ludo, and then I was missing Mirzapur too again. I mean, the memes that followed Mirzapur 2, and literally, I mean, of course, there were great performances in Mirzapur across, right? I just
Yeah.
thought Vijay Varma was a bit overdone, and that whole thing was just seeming like too much of a gimmick. And I am from Bihar ancestrally, so these guys did not look Biharis to me at all. You know, that part only did not, Lilliput didn't seem Bihari to me as a character trait. You know, when you're moving so strongly from UP and you got it so right, you can't go to the neighboring state and get it so wrong. You know, like, that same homework should apply there as well, right? So, but that apart, I mean, the memes that followed Mirzapur too about his neck being a character of its own, you know, that has a life, and so true. The way he moves, I mean, he just talks from his neck, you know, whenever on any scene, he just said it. And it's such a fascinating trait to give to a character because I mean that neck is going to be in every movie of his, but you've never seen him do that for any other part. So I think Kalin Bhaiya was killer. So that's just a fascinating year for one actor who truly entertained us in ways that we would never imagine um, in terms of genre and of course in terms of performance. This was Pankaj Tripadi's year.
Yeah, I agree with Mayank on this. I completely agree because when I was watching Criminal Justice, there's a scene where he tells the girl's father, "Pakka aap hi ki beti hai na." When he's like, I didn't take it seriously when she told me that she had clinical depression. These little nuances, like with such humor and such honesty, he puts it. I think I agree with Mayank when he says this was Pankaj Tripadi's year. I think he was in everything and he was brilliant in everything. But another performance I'd like to mention over here is Kumud Mishra in Thappad. I thought it's a very memorable performance, and we need to normalize these fathers that we have seen across the year, be it Pankaj sir in Gunjan Saxena or Kumud sir in Thappad. These are fathers who are pushing for their daughters' right to dream, their daughters' right to do better. Of course, a lot of it is there in the writing, but it's the beauty of the performance also comes forth when we see it on screen. He's so serene, he's so supportive of his daughter. She's making the decision, and she's herself confused, so he's like, do what you think is right, I'll take care of it. So these are very beautiful performances which I'm going to remember from this year.
Since we were speaking about Pankaj Tripathi, how many of you, I mean, do you remember the scene that he had with Irfan Khan in Angrezi Medium, which was a very small scene?
Yeah, that's another film. That's another film that he did. That's five so far.
Also,
Two series.
Extraction.
And Extraction, that's true. That's six. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I think actually since we spoke about timing here, Mayank and Chok, I think I'd like to take this moment to also appreciate how I really enjoyed Amrita Subhash in the same film, because there's a really wonderful scene where news of demonetization has just struck and she gets into this hysterical laughter, which I mean, she's laughing on screen, and I don't know why. I was also breaking into splits constantly looking at her. I think kudos to her, because seldom we see women on screen, forget having a sense of humor. Seldom do we see them make a fool of themselves that way. So I really enjoyed watching Amrita Subhash in that one particular scene and Choke for sure. I'd like to give her due credit for that. I think even in Cargo, I think somewhere we need to give it to Shweta Tripathi Sharma also. If we are, acknowledging Pankaj Tripathi, who has had a good year, I think same goes to Shweta Tripathi Sharma. She's had such a lovely performance in Raat Akeli Hai and Cargo. And then in Mirzapur 2, you see a complete character shift from what she was in season 1. We see her transforming into this really badass woman who cares two hoots about the egos of men. Like she's bid farewell to her books, and she's embraced guns, and she's literally taking on the reins as like a boss. I think I'd like to give full credit to Shweta Tripathi Sharma also for this year.
She was also very good in Gone Game, which Mayank, have you watched it?
I haven't seen. No, is Gone Game a short films lockdown anthology? Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not gonna watch any more lockdown films, boss. Bahut ho gaya. Like
but
the
it's
number
a nicely
of
made
the number of.
It's a nicely.
I thought Unpause wasn't too bad either. I thought that was a pretty well made The Tamil version of which I couldn't, for some reason, sit through was unbearable, which was the Amazon Prime series, short film anthology in Tamil, which Unpaused was the Bollywood version. I'm forgetting the name of the Tamil version. Putham Puthu Kalai, right? And that had names like Mani Ratnam involved, which were like, I was quite surprised to see that in the closing credits, and it was so amateurishly done, which is why I watched Unpaused thinking it'd be somewhere around those lines, but no. I thought that was fabulous, and now that you tell me, was that game?
The
Gone Game.
Gone Game. I'm going to check it out. There's just too much to check out. Let's finish this conversation so I can go back to the screen.
But there's another performance I'd actually like to talk about. Just performance. Saif Ali Khan from Tanaji. They usually say when a film doesn't work, performances don't work. But somehow that performance was so beautifully devilish and so bizarre. I really remember that performance. He was just having fun. And I don't remember the last time Saif Ali Khan enjoyed a character that much. He was just having a blast with his character. And I'm going to remember that performance. It was a very, very well done performance.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if you watched Joker and modeled that particular character on Joker. I mean, it is also around the time that film had come out, and like Walking Phoenix was all over the place. And a lot of the times, especially with actors like Saif, who the kind of content they consume is very different from the content that's put out. If you give them a reference point, he might even ask for, can you play it like Joker, and he would do a great job. You could see some strains of it. Right.
I know.
Sort of a devil that you want to watch, in a sort of devil that is someone you could also like because you don't like them. So are you saying something, Vijayalakshmi?
Yeah, I think because Mohit spoke about Tanaji, actually, it will also be nice if we mentioned Sharat Kelkar also, because
That's true.
it can be very, very tricky, and it's extremely touchy for the locals, for somebody to play Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And I think the grace and the dignity with which Sharat pulled it off, I don't think so any other actor could have pulled it off, as effortlessly as he did. I think so many of us who saw him, in that character, we felt that, if he were to be alive today, I think that's how he would look like. So yes, actually, I think that must be a mention.
Absolutely.
And then he was the only saving grace in an abysmally bad film like Lakshmi. Like the last 15 minutes of the film, I mean, if only the whole film was only centered around that, I think I would have enjoyed Lakshmi a lot more. I mean, what a pity. He comes in hardly when you're already exhausted, having watched 2 hours of the film.
But that is also true in general for a lot of Bollywood films that dropped online, that dropped on OTT platforms, possibly because they could not get theaters for release because the theaters were shut. But the fact is, if any of these films really made it to theaters, Bollywood would have to shut down. They were so bad, from Sadak to Lakshmi, so many of them actually, and to a point where Coolie #1 we just watched this weekend, and really, if anything, this should be a year of introspection for the mainstream film industry. If there's going to be such a huge lag between what the world is watching online and what they think the world should be watching in theater, and you're going to take audiences this much for granted, I think it won't take them too long to be wiped out altogether. You need to work much harder than that to get people to go from their homes, take a cab or a bus or a train, go all the way to a theater, sit inside for 2 to 3 hours, eat, also spend money on that as well. Spend money when I can watch everything on my phone, or on my laptop. So what is your return on investment, Lakshmi? And is your return investment Coolie #1? It's ridiculous. And I'm not just talking about these two. That I don't know. These are just top of mind. And again, recency bias, Vijayalakshmi, as you pointed out, there's so many of them. But I didn't feel like watching it only. I'm like, whatever. Like, do I need to sit through this? Why? So it was a bad year for Bollywood, but I think a great year for content and an amazing year for OTT platforms. And thank God we survived because of them.
well rightly said, Mayank. Thank you so much for doing this once again, Mayank and Mohar.
Thank
This
you.
was real fun, and I cannot wait to see what 2021 has in store for us in terms of shows and in films. And here's looking at a very, very content-driven and content-rich 2021 at the movies. Happy New Year to the two of you, and see you soon in
Thank you.
person, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Radio City.